I left off on Friday, continuing on with the civil rights movement discussion here, talking about various Jewish supremacist-run organizations, Jewish supremacist-created organizations that supposedly, are out for black rights, minority rights. One of them is the, of course, NAACP. We talked about how that was created and has been run from the word go by Jewish supremacists. And we mentioned the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. So I'll just repeat a couple points I made on Friday just to bring us up to speed here. This group, the Southern Leadership Conference, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, again, was started by another Jew, Stanley Levison. And it turns out this guy even wrote Martin Luther King's speeches for him. He's been described as one of King's closest personal advisors. The seeming generosity and sympathy that the Jews claimed, to have toward blacks, either fooled Martin Luther or, he knew it was BS. I'll argue that he knew it was BS. In the coming days, I'll be talking about Mr. King, put him under the microscope. To this day, a great many people in the black movement are enthralled with this guy, think that he was on their side and advancing the black cause. He seemed to be on the surface, but we'll take a look at him under the microscope and we'll see what he was really all about. Hardcore communist. But just based on this quote alone, this should tell you something. During a 1965 interview, King stated, and I think it was in the midst of this quote that I got cut off on Friday. The show ended. I didn't get to finish this quote. But anyway, before I read it, there's still a great many blacks today that look up to this guy. There's a lot of whites that look up to this guy, too. I think he was such a hero for the black cause and hero for the underdog, hero for, anti-Vietnam War protests across the board, just, and probably that is what got him killed ultimately. As a part of COINTELPRO. The FBI's fingerprints are all over his death. We'll talk about that, too. But anyway, when it came to Jewish supremacist guys, he could not possibly have been more in bed with them than he was. And probably his stance on the Vietnam thing, maybe that was done to make him look more legitimate, that he was the champion of many causes, but more than the FBI and the CIA were willing to put up with. But nevertheless, look at today. You get the same thing going on with Obama. And this is what's so disgusting. Some people just can't get past the race card on both ends of the argument, whites and blacks. White supremacists get angry if you show sympathy toward another race, another minority. And on the other side of the argument, blacks will get upset if you talk about great icons that they think were their heroes, like Martin Luther or Obama, for that matter. You criticize Obama and suddenly now, you're against black people. Oh, cut the shit. Will you frickin' get your head out of your ass? That's funny, when you criticized Bush, nobody said that you were anti-white. I mean, come on. No matter who occupies that Oval Office, guys, they all suck. They suck before they even get in office. It has nothing to do with their goddamn skin color. I'm really just so disgusted with this crap. I just can't believe people fall for this. Anyway, during this 65 interview, King stated, "How could there be anti-Semitism among Negroes when our Jewish friends have demonstrated their commitment to the principle of tolerance and brotherhood, not only in the form of sizable contributions," again, sizable contributions. Whose money are they contributing? And to what end? Is it coming out of their pockets? Shit, no. Never does. Anytime they make a seeming donation, First of all, it's always a tax write-off. Second of all, it's our money. Ultimately, they stole from us in the first place. But anyway, sizable contributions, but in many other tangible ways, he said, they have assisted us, and often at great personal sacrifice. Oh, are you shitting me? The only time these people engage in any kind of sacrifice is with a bloody cadaver, on the ground before them with a dagger in their hand. Anyway, guys, short break, right back. Continuing on with this quote here, Luther went on to say, listen to the royal elite Jew ass-kissing going on here. It's very disgusting. Like I said, I'll be putting Mr. Martin Luther King more under the microscope in coming days, but just on the basis of this quote alone, listen to what he's saying here. He says, can we ever express our appreciation to the rabbis who chose to give moral witness with us in St. Augustine during our recent protest against segregation in that unhappy city? Need I remind anyone of the awful beating suffered by Rabbi Arthur Leleveld of Cleveland when he joined the civil rights workers there in, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The whole thing was probably staged, guys. They do this all the time. Just a big media stunt. No actual beating takes place, fake blood, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and who can ever forget the sacrifice of two Jewish lives, Andrew Goodman and Michael Schwerner, in the swamps of Mississippi? It would be impossible to record the contribution that the Jewish people have made toward the Negro struggle for freedom. It has been so great. Oh, give me a break. What he's really talking about here is he loved Jewish supremacist money. He loved to hear that jingle in his pocket. That's the kind of sacrifice he was talking about. And what role did Jewish supremacists play in giving him that money? They just stole it from our pockets and put it into his. That's it. Anyway, back to Luther's bosom buddy, Levison. This voice of Christian leadership, as Luther had described him, was also discovered by the FBI to have been a former Communist Party member, well, naturally, who created communism, for God's sakes. And as it turns out, again, Luther was a hardcore communist. We'll look at his ideology, his philosophy. He was a womanizer. He was a bastard, an absolute bastard. But again, guys, you put that reverend label on there, and all criticism now must go out the window. He was a man of God. You gotta be frickin' kidding me.